Hey, it's Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady, and this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where you get to ask me your questions about tax lien and tax deed investing here on Facebook, and I can answer you live. And let me know, just say hello when you come on, and let me know where you're from, because each state is so different that I really have to know what state you're asking a question about before I answer it. Okay. Anybody that tells you they're an expert everywhere in the country is probably not telling you the whole truth, because it's so different in every state. I'll tell you, there's some states that I'm not that familiar with. And quite frankly, there are some states that just aren't worth it anyway. Okay, and my assistant Nicole is here to help me answer your questions and to put in links, helpful links for you of the things that I talk about today. And I do have an announcement for everybody. I am now a manager of a private tax lien investing fund. And this fund is for accredited investors who have 100,000 or more to invest. And if you're interested, just private message me and ask me about it. And I will set something up with one of the other members of the fund, and we'll give you all the details, okay? So say hello, tell us where you're from, and ask me your questions, any questions that you have about tax lien or tax deed investing. And guess what? If I don't know the answer, I'll point you in the right direction. Okay. So just say hello when you get here and let me know where you're from. I already gave one announcement, and I have another one. We have a wealth building webinar tomorrow night, 7:30. Tomorrow night, and yeah, today's Tuesday. I had to think for a minute. Is it? No, I'm sorry. It's not tomorrow night. It's the 14th. It's next Wednesday. I had to think for a minute about not only what day it is, but what week it is. Okay, so it's next Wednesday night. I have our next wealth building webinar. And that is with my mentor for real estate investing, Mark Jackson. And I am going to be in Puerto Rico later in the month with MJ, and on his Go Higher Mastermind. So in this webinar next week, we're going to kind of preview what we're doing in the mastermind. Not only will he be there, but some of my real estate investing colleagues and some of my students, some of them are tax lien investing students, and some of them are in a partnership with me on some of our tax lien investing projects that we're doing, like investing in secondary liens in Florida. So if you'd like to join us, guess what? You don't have to go to Puerto Rico. You can join us virtually for the event. It's not too late. So if you want to find out more about it, come next Wednesday to the webinar. The event actually takes place the 22nd through the 24th. So that'll be the week after. So you'll have plenty of time, okay? Unless you're planning on actually going to Puerto Rico, then you're going to want to private message me about it and find out now. Or you could find out the details on my blog at taxlieninvestingtips.com. So I just want to say hi to Matt, hi to Paula, hi Ray, good to have you back again. Ray is back in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, Ray. Crystal, hi Crystal, from Mobile, Alabama. Okay. Paula from Dallas. All right. Dallas is Texas is a great state to invest in. Dallas is quite competitive, but Texas is a great state to invest in. Yeah, and Ray says, would love to go to Puerto Rico, but busy traveling. Well, you can attend virtually, Ray. That's the good news. Okay, what else do we have here? All right, so Guys, let me know about your questions. Okay, now Nicole has put in a link for you to sign up for the webinar. Now it is free to come to the live webinar. If you want the replay, you have to be a member of Wealth Building Webinars or the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. If you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, you also get all of the replays to the Wealth Building Webinars. But it's really easy to be a member of the Wealth Building Webinars. It's only $49 a month, and you get all the recordings of all the webinars that we've done over the last couple of years. Okay, so Matt, if you would like to talk to me over the phone, I'm a busy lady, and I do profit planning sessions that are free with people who want to talk to me. And you have to fill out a form first so that I know, what you want to talk about and what I can help you with. So if you go to taxlienlady.com/mentoring-application, you can fill out that form and make an appointment to talk to me. All right. And I do it on Zoom, not on the telephone. You can use your phone, but I recommend the computer. That way we can actually see each other. So it's kind of cool. Okay. And Nicole has put in the link to the mastermind so that if you don't want to wait until the webinar to find out about it and you just want to enroll now, register now for the mastermind, you can do that. And she's also just put in the link for the mentoring application into the comments. Okay, glad you like Zoom, Matt. That's good. Yeah. Okay, and I am kind of busy this month, I will tell you, because I've got a lot going on. So if you can't find an appointment with me, just let me know. And I'll try to accommodate you, okay? But in the meantime, guys, if you have questions, please let me know your questions, because guess what? This is called Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, and it's called that for a reason, because it's where I get to answer questions. And if there's no questions, there's no Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes here and let you guys put in your questions. And I'm here on StreamYard. I'm not actually on Facebook, but I can see your comments. So if you put your questions in the comments, I'll be able to see them. Okay, and Matt's from Philadelphia. Okay, Matt. They have redeemable deeds in Philly, although they normally do not get redeemed, from what I understand talking to the sheriff's office. All right. Okay. Waiting for questions here. And if I don't have any questions soon, guys, I'm going to end this call. Which states do you like the most for tax deed states? Michigan is one of my favorites. Pennsylvania, where I live. And there's some redeemable deed states that I like. But if you're just talking straight deeds, I think those are two of my favorites. I'm also going to be looking into Washington because I'll be moving. My husband's working there right now. And I'll be moving in the future, probably to Oregon, right next to Washington. And I'm going to be looking into Oregon as well. Okay. Matt says Florida, PA. I like PA. Florida, there's a lot of sales in Florida, but because they have sales all the time, there's not a lot available at any given sale, and it's very competitive. Hey, Nicola, do you know anything about Washington, D.C.? Yeah, it is a lot like Maryland. There is an expert interview in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. It's actually in Tax Sale Finders, which members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator have access to. The Tax Lien Profits Accelerator is my membership and group coaching. We do a group coaching every month on the third Wednesday. We just change it from the afternoon to the evening. And you also get access to all my workshops. And they do sell deeds in Washington, D.C. Okay. Paula, how do we get started? Paula, that is a loaded question. Let's say, where did you say you were from, Paula? I got to look at the chat because the chat goes by like, or the comments rather, they go by really quickly. So, Dallas, how do you get started? Just for you just got to start going to sales. In Texas, some of the counties have sales every month, and you just got to start going to them and see what it's like. That's one thing. Now, if you need more than that, if you want like a step-by-step plan on how to get started, I do have a workshop on Texas. And you could go to taxlienlady.com and see that workshop. I think it's $249 or $247 or $297. I forget the exact price of it, but you'll see it on taxlienlady.com. And you could also become a member and get all the workshops. Membership is $149 a month, so it's kind of cheaper to become a member. And Nicole can put in a link to membership. How do you abstract titles? Hi, Tal. How do you abstract titles? Do you use a title company or a software other service? Sometimes I do it myself. If I'm investing here in Pennsylvania, I'll go to the prothonotary office and look up the records myself. I've also done that in New Jersey. Or I will pay for one of the services that I use lets you pay for a title search, and it's pretty cheap. So either I do it myself or I pay for a simple title search. I don't hire a title company to do it because I don't need title insurance at that point. And by the way, I don't do that for tax liens. I only do it when it's time to foreclose or for deeds. Hey, Crystal, do you have a workshop for Alabama? No, I don't, Crystal. Alabama is not one of my favorite states. Sorry. 3-year redemption, you know, and the judges in Alabama are not good to tax lien investors. Okay. Ray says, I would be interested in Michigan deeds and maybe coaching. I do have a Michigan workshop, Ray. It's in the members. If you're a member, you have access to that. If not, you could buy the workshop or do the membership. I've got a workshop on Michigan. Michigan tax sales will be coming up too, starting in August, I believe. And Nicole has put in the link for the Texas tax sale workshop and for the membership. And Nicole, you could also put in the link for the workshop for Michigan. Okay. Okay, Matt says he knows someone in Alabama for tax liens. Somebody that teaches in Alabama or does tax liens. You know what? I think Ray does. And he's on here. So get in touch with Ray. Yeah, and Matt is asking, what about online tax sales on which website? They don't have them in Alabama, Matt. Is that if you're asking about Philadelphia, they don't have them in Philadelphia either. So it depends on the state. I do have a course for buying tax liens online if you're interested in the online lien sales. And I have a course for buying tax deeds online. By the way, Michigan has tax deeds online, and they're included in that course. So I have 2 different courses, one for the online tax lien sales and one for the online tax deed sales. I also have workshops that I did in 2020 on both of those things. So you might just want the workshops. So although I don't know if I just sell, I probably don't just sell the workshops. I've added the workshops to the course. So you could either purchase the course or become a member. Okay, Ray says he doesn't teach. However, he has a good attorney for Alabama. And Joanne is right, meaning Alabama is not a good state. Okay, thanks, Ray. Are tax deeds better than just certificates? Matt, it depends on how much money you have, where you live, and what your goal is. So if you fill out that form at mentoring-application and make an appointment with me, I can get you pointed in the right direction. Okay. Hi, Shawanda. Okay, so how well does this work for West Virginia? West Virginia is, I get mixed up between West Virginia and Virginia. One of them is deeds and one of them is a lien state. And I, as you could tell, neither one of them are my favorite states. There's not a lot available. But guess what? It's all, I did the research, it's all on my state guide. So I don't have the information for West Virginia off the top of my head, but if you want to schedule an appointment with me, a profit planning session, I will get that information for you. Scott, I don't know if West Virginia is a good state. It's not a state that I've personally done, and I don't have any clients there right now. I haven't had any clients in West Virginia. So anybody that tells you they're an expert all over the country is not telling you the truth, okay? I'll tell you, I'm not an expert all over the country. Some states I haven't gone into. That's one of them. Ray is saying, it is possible to do Alabama, not as good as it once was. Happy to talk to anyone, and I am buying tax deeds here. Yeah, Alabama, I think, is a better state for tax deeds than for tax liens. They do both, like a lot of tax lien states do. Okay, and guess what, Scott? The information is in my state guide. I just don't have it in my head on West Virginia. You could look in my state guide and see. If you don't have my state guide, you can get it at taxlienlady.com/membership. If you, that tells you about the membership, and if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a link where you could download the state guide. If you go to taxlienlady.com/membership. Okay. Thank you, Ray. I like your comment. Yeah, you see, I don't always tell people what they want to hear, but I tell them the truth. Yeah, and I am affordable. My most expensive coaching program is $5,000. And right now, it will probably go up because you can't get that anywhere else. But I do have something a little bit more than that. Like if you want me to go with you to a sale, if you want a VIP day with me or a VIP weekend, then it's more, then it's like $7,500 for a VIP day. But if you spend any other money with me with coaching, I credit all that to you for the VIP day. All right, and Nicole has put the link in the comments for the membership where you could get the state guide for free. It's at the bottom. There's a little link that says download Tax Lien Lady's state guide. And it's a little tiny print all the way at the bottom of that page. Hi, Tina. Oh, Tina, good to see you here. It's been a while. All right. All right. So any other questions? Any other questions? I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to type in your questions. I'll hang out a little longer, but if I have no questions, guys, then I'm going to end this call. So give me your questions. And I'll answer all the questions that I can. The ones that I can't, I'll tell you where to get the answer. And the question that I got about West Virginia, you get that answer in my state guide. Okay? And I told you where to get that. All righty. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. I'm just closing stuff out here on my computer. Let's bring StreamYard back up here. Matt, you want to meet me? Go to Puerto Rico. I'll be in Puerto Rico at the Go Hire Mastermind, which you can find out all about. It's in the comments. Nicole had put it in. I will be there I'll actually be there June 21st. It's June 22nd through the 24th. And I will be there until the 26th, I think. I'm going to be there the 21st through the 26th. All right, Ray says he'll be in Michigan in August and may bid, could use help. Last year, Ray, I got to tell you, they were all online. They used to be online and live, okay? But Michigan is one of those states that really shut everything down for COVID. So they were all online only. And I don't know yet what they're doing this year, just to let you know. In June or July, what are you asking about June or July? When is South Carolina? In the fall. Kind of staggered all through the fall from September through December. Most of them are in November, I think. The one I went to, I forget if it was in November or December. Yeah, but they're kind of staggered all throughout September through December in South Carolina. And Ray, I don't know what you're asking, June or July. June is done. We're in July. Did I say June? I meant July for the Go Hire Mastermind. Before I couldn't get my weeks right. I thought that we were, happens to the best of us, right? Too many things on my mind. All right, so let me know if you got any more questions. Let me know. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I was just looking at what I have available. I don't have a lot of time this month, so if you go to that taxlinglady.com/mentoring-application to fill in the form so that you could schedule a 30-minute session with me. I'm not sure when you'll be able to get in because I am traveling a lot. I'm leaving tonight. I'll be gone for a couple of days to visit my parents in New Jersey. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be going to Puerto Rico. I'll be here all week next week, but I will be going to Puerto Rico the week after that. And then after I come home, on the last weekend of the month, I'll be going to Las Vegas to meet my husband, who's been in Pasco, Washington for the last 3 months. Well, the last 2 months, I guess. It seems like 3 months, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Bye, Ray. All right. Any questions? I'm just looking to see if I missed any questions here. Okay. Yeah. And Matt mentioned somebody from Birmingham Realty who's on Instagram who does Alabama. I will tell you, I have real estate investing friends in Alabama. And I just generally am not crazy about that state. I do like, by the way, I'll tell you what's coming up that nobody has mentioned, Mississippi and Missouri. And they happen, I believe, the 4th Monday of August. So now is the time to start looking into that. Those are online. Missouri has, Clay County is the only county that was online last year. I don't know about this year, but Mississippi has a lot of counties online. However, they're on a platform that I'm not crazy about, govease.com. Not crazy about that platform, but they're the ones that do all the Mississippi auctions. Okay. So if that is all the questions, and I'm just looking to see if we got any other questions, but I don't see any new questions, just comments. Redemption time is 1 year in Mississippi. I believe so. They bid premium in Mississippi too. Paula, what about California? California's deeds, Paula, very expensive. Have to have a lot of money in California. Got a couple $100,000. Plus they're 3 years delinquent before they even get into the tax sale. Does Missouri allow non-residents to bid? Oh, great question, Eli, because no, they don't. Here's the thing. You've got to be a Missouri resident to bid in Missouri. And if you're not, you can get an agent to bid for you, but that agent has to be a resident of the county. They have to be a resident of the county in order to bid. And then they can assign it to you later, but they have to take it in their name. Yeah, so it's a great thing about Missouri because it's great for the people who live there. It limits the competition. You have to be a Missouri resident, and some counties you have to be a resident of that county to bid. Yeah, Paula, sorry about that. California's pricey and it's deeds, no liens. Yeah. You can get somebody to bid for you in Missouri, but they have to be a resident of the county. Yeah, it's a little complicated. It's good to know somebody in Missouri, by the way, if you want to get tax liens there. All right, great questions. Great questions, guys. Love it. Love answering your questions. And Matt, just to get back to Mississippi, I think it's 1 year, but I'm not sure. All that information, like I said, I don't go around with every state up here, but it is in my state guide. So download the state guide and read it. It's in there, or just look for it in the state guide. The state guide is organized. It's 3 parts. The first part tells you about lien states, the second part tells you about deed states, and the third part goes through all the states in alphabetical order, and you could just click on the state and go there and find out what happens in that state. There's a summary of each state in part 3. Louisiana, Paula, you're batting 1,000 today. Sorry. Louisiana sells liens and deeds. I don't recommend the liens because they bid down percent ownership of the property should you actually get to foreclose. Not good. The deeds I do recommend in Louisiana. It's a little different than every other state. You actually get a warranty deed if you buy it in the deed sale, but before it can go into a deed sale, you have to put a deposit on the property. It's an $850 deposit. And what that allows them to do is clear the title to the property and give you a warranty deed. Okay. But you still have to bid on it. So you put the $850 deposit on it, then it can go into the deed sale once they do all the title work. And then as long as you bid on it, your $850 goes toward the property. If somebody else wins the bid, you get your $850 back. But if you don't bid on it, you lose the money, okay? But I do recommend Louisiana for deeds, not liens, okay? CivicSource.com is the platform that handles most of the Louisiana, almost all the Louisiana tax sales. Okay, Matt, even with tax deeds, how long do you have to wait? You don't wait at all with tax deeds. You get the property. You might have to wait to get title insurance, but you own the property. That's the difference between a tax deed state and a redeemable deed state. Yeah, Paula, like I said, you're batting 1,000. California is just not next to any good states. It's not a good state. It's not next to any good states. Now, a lot of people that want to do liens that live in California in the past have gone to Arizona, but I don't like Arizona either because it's a 3-year redemption period in Arizona. And they bid down the interest rate really low, sometimes 0%, and there's no reason to bid 0%. I wouldn't even bid 1% in Arizona because you have to pay extra for everything in Arizona. So you wind up losing money. Oklahoma, years and years ago, was a lien state. Now it's been a deed state for years. It's not a state that I bother with, honestly, but they do deeds in Oklahoma. What is my favorite state? I gotta say New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. And I also like South Carolina, Indiana, Michigan, New York. I love New York. Okay. All right, guys. So I gave you a lot of favorite states, not just one. See, and the reason I love New York is because New York is a deed state, right? Nassau County sells liens. I don't ever go to the Nassau County sale, very competitive. But even in the deed counties, the cities can do what they want. And some of them will have lien sales and they make up their own rules. So New York is just a lot of fun. I have one of my coaching clients just got 3 liens at 17% at a New York tax sale that nobody else really knows about, and he was the only one there. And nobody else knew about it because I coached him to go there. So it's one of the things that I keep in my back pocket just for my coaching clients. What's so good about New Jersey, Indiana, South Carolina? Okay, I will tell you. New Jersey, you get to pay your sub taxes and you get the maximum rate, which is 18% on your sub taxes. That's what I love about New Jersey. Also, the liens don't expire for 20 years. The redemption period is only 2 years, but they don't expire for 20 years. You could let it go a long time and pay those subsequent taxes. And when it gets redeemed, make a lot of money. And most of this stuff is going to redeem in New Jersey. I've had burnt out properties that redeemed. Indiana, what I like about Indiana is you bid premium in Indiana and you get a penalty on your entire bid price. That's what I like about Indiana. The other thing I like about Indiana, short redemption. The regular sale, it's 1 year, but in the commissioner's sale, it's only 4 months. I like Indiana. And in Indiana, the attorney does most of the work because you do have to hire an attorney, but it's affordable. You get that back when the lien redeems, and they do all the work for you. So I like Indiana. South Carolina. I like South Carolina because it's redeemable deed. You get the deed. If it doesn't redeem, you don't have to go through foreclosure. And it's 12% a year. It's not as competitive as Texas or Georgia. So that's what I like about South Carolina. Okay. All right. That was fun to answer. Any other questions before we wrap it up for today's Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live? And thank you all for coming. We had a really good turnout today. Thank you for your wonderful questions. I really, as you can tell, some of them I really like to answer. When am I coming to Philadelphia? Well, Philadelphia is about 2.5 hours away from where I live, and I hate to go all the way down to Philly, but I do go to some of the suburbs around Philly occasionally. My nephew used to live down in Royersford. He's no longer there, so I don't go there anymore. I've been down to King of Prussia occasionally, but I haven't been there lately, and I don't like flying out of the Philly airport. I kind of like to stay out of Philly, honestly. So probably won't be coming down to Philly. As far as I go down there is like Bethlehem or Allentown. You know, I go there. My son, I've got 2 sons that work down in Allentown. My one son lives in Bethlehem now. So I go down there occasionally, and that's probably only 1.5 hours away from Philly. What's the best state if you don't want the properties to redeem? Deed states. Deed states if you don't want the properties to redeem. And out of all the state, Pennsylvania, where I live, you just get the property. Michigan, you just get the property. No redemption. Hey, Jean, Indiana sounds good to me. Yeah, I like Indiana. I do like Indiana. Matt, I am 20 minutes from KOP. What's KOP, Matt? Sorry. I don't know what it is. Oh, King of Prussia. I got it. King of Prussia. Yeah, King of Prussia Mall. All right. Yeah, I've been down there a couple of times to events down there, but I haven't been there lately. Just if I don't have to go on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, I'll avoid it. Right? I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. I go to New Jersey a lot more than I go down to Philly. As a matter of fact, when I travel, I either fly out of ABE, Allentown Bethlehem Airport, or Newark. Most of the time it's Newark. All the flying that I'm going to be doing this month is out of Newark. It's closer to me than Philly. It's only 1.5 hours in traffic, like 1.5 hours at the most, like 1 hour and 15 if there's no traffic. And it's easier to get in and out of than Philly's like 2.5 hours away, and it's a pain in the neck to get to. Okay. All right, any more questions? Any more questions, guys? I'll just give you a minute in case anybody does have a last minute question before we button up this session of Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. And I'll be back again in 2 weeks. It'll be the day before I leave for Philly. I mean, not for Philly. You got Philly on my mind now, Matt. For Puerto Rico. It'll be the day before I leave for Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'd rather go to Puerto Rico than Philly. Okay. When are the tax sales for Pennsylvania and Michigan? Pennsylvania, most counties have 2 tax sales a year. They have an upset sale and a judicial sale. One is in the fall and one is in the spring. So the ones that are coming up in the fall, I think, are the upset sales. And then the judicial sales happen in the spring. The Michigan tax sales, and I said this earlier, so I'm repeating myself, but the Michigan tax sales are in the fall and they'll start in August and September. Most of them are even over by September. Yeah, sorry, Matt. I'm not coming to Philly. I'm going to Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. So any other questions? Want to thank you guys for being here and for your questions. Okay, I got a question here from Tal. If when you foreclose, does the defendant always have to pay your attorney fees? No, you don't. It's a different kind of foreclosure process. And it depends on the state. Some states you don't need an attorney and you don't go to court. But you don't ever have to go to court for a foreclosure. The attorney does everything and you just pay the attorney a flat fee. You want to get a tax lien attorney in the states that you do it with an attorney. And the attorney will do it for a flat fee. Okay. And for the states that you don't use an attorney, you just basically you pay a fee to the county clerk for the deed. Sometimes it goes through some kind of judicial process, but it doesn't go through like a normal foreclosure process. And no, the plaintiff doesn't ever pay your attorney fees. Your attorney fees only, well, let me take that back. Only if they redeem the property would they pay your fees. Okay, because in order to redeem, they would have to pay the fees now. And that's different in every state, how much you get back. Sometimes you don't get it all, only a certain portion. This is very state specific, Tal. It really depends on the state. Okay. And what's in Puerto Rico? You missed it, Matt. You were here earlier when I talked about it. I'm going to the Go Higher Mastermind with my mentor for real estate investing, Mark Jackson. And I'll be doing a webinar with him next Wednesday night. Nicole has put all this stuff in the comments for you. She's put the link for the webinar that we're doing, the wealth building webinar next Wednesday night. And she's put the link to the Go Higher Mastermind. So if you want to do it virtually, you can actually meet me in Puerto Rico virtually in the Go Higher Mastermind. All right, Tal says, I know I can do it without an attorney, but have been advised that you may have problems later if you foreclose if you do not use an attorney. Again, Tal, state specific. What state are you talking about? Some states you do have to use an attorney. Otherwise, you can lose your money in the property. So it depends on the state. In some states, you don't need an attorney. So it depends on the state. And some states, you can do it without an attorney. Arizona, you can do it without an attorney if you know what you're doing. All right. I do have information on Arizona. I have expert interviews on Arizona in tax sale finders that Tax Lien Profits Accelerator members have access to. There are expert interviews and expert analysis on Arizona in tax sale finders, which my members have access to. All right, guys, if there are no other questions, and Tal, if you need more help about that. And the other thing you'll find in tax sale finders is links to attorneys in different states, and there are attorneys in Arizona. I would suggest, if you've never done it before, to use an attorney, and it depends on the value of the property. If the property's valuable, use an attorney. If it's a piece of land, it'll probably cost you $2,000 for an attorney to do the foreclosure. So if it's land that's only worth that much, then you're not going to want to hire an attorney. You're going to want to do it yourself. If you have an LLC, you cannot do it without a, yes, that's true. If you have an LLC, you've got to use an attorney because they don't let you represent yourself. It's the same in New Jersey. All right, guys. I'm going to end this Tax Lien Lady Live, and I'll see you in 2 weeks at the next one. And maybe I'll see you next Wednesday night on the Wealth Building webinar. All right, everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for all your questions. And I'll see you next time. And Tal, that was a good, that's a good price. I would go ahead and hire that attorney to do your foreclosure. Okay, bye everybody.